Peace, peace. What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Soul Searching 1111 Sunday School. And today is Sunday, October the 8th. The last time when I recorded last week, unfortunately my audio wasn't working, but it's all good. We back. We're going to touch on the subject I was touching on last week. Go ahead and get straight to it. So this week topic is actually. Uh, God doesn't like Christmas as well as the worldly ways. So I'm not going to make this video extremely long. I'm going to go ahead and just jump straight into it. All right. So first of all, um, when it comes to like, let's just talk about this world real quick, right? Like um, a lot of our people claim to love God, um, but they're really following a lot of these worldly ways, right? And like the main thing is like with Christmas. So that's like one of the biggest things, right? Um, Let me just go ahead and get into it. So like right, let me just show y'all something. So this is the first. This is the book of John, First John, second chapter. First John, second chapter. We're gonna go down to the 15th verse, right? And the 15th verse of First John second chapter says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world." So check it. Now, you guys cannot tell me that uh, you guys can sit here and follow these worldly ways and think you can still, have like a godly lifestyle or whatever, right? Not saying that you can't do anything. No, that's not what I'm saying. But as far as a lot of the trends and stuff that we follow, like, okay, I'll give you a real good example. Um, BBL. There's a lot of our ladies these days getting surgeries on their bottoms, right? And it's like that's something we ain't never done before, you know. And now all of a sudden, a lot of our women are, getting the BBLs and stuff. Heck, there's a lot of our women that is dying, um, getting cut on, getting surgeries on their bodies and stuff, right? All out of the sense of not accepting and loving what God has already created, right? So that's a worldly way that a lot of our people is following, getting cosmetic surgeries and stuff. But again, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world or woman, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that it is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of this world. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these people that be getting cosmetic surgeries and stuff, that's of the flesh, yo. That is of the eyes, and that is of the pride of life. Meaning, uh, you just so called bad bitch or whatever the situation may be. That is not of the Father, but is of the world, right? I'm just saying that for an example. So, um, and see another thing, a lot of you people, a lot of us has been brainwashed, right? There's a lot of you right now. Uh, when it comes to Christmas, right? A lot of us has went broke. I've been there before. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I've been there before because I didn't know no better. But when I asked God to show me better, so I can show the people better as well, this is what He led me to. So this is Jeremiah chapter 10, right? Jeremiah chapter 10. And it clearly says this in the Bible. For our people that go to church so much and say they read the Bible from front to back, but they still following ways of the world. Anyway, so thus said the Lord, Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cut a tree out of the forest, the works the work of the hands of the workmen, that with the axe. What does the axe do? It chop trees down, ladies and gentlemen. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Now check it. Now, any tree that is cut out of a forest and decorated with silver and gold and fastened with nails with hammers so it can't move not, people, come on. That's a Christmas tree. Okay? That is a Christmas tree. Clearly a Christmas tree. Look at all the silver. Look at all the gold. Let's go to the images. Look at this. Silver and gold. Everywhere I look. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. Tree. Now, the tree didn't come from the inside, and the tree didn't come from the sidewalk either. Christmas tree is a tree that is cut out of a forest. And guess what? Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. But check it out, though. Let's read some more. Not only did deck with silver and gold, right? But check it out. Right here. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee do it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations and in all their kingdoms there is none like unto thee, but they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanities. You guys not understand this. Like the Lord is sitting there, like God got everything right here in the book telling y'all what the business is, but guess what? Again, just like it said here in John, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, pride, love not the world and the things that are in the world. But a lot of sucker people cannot let go of this Christmas stuff. You guys are so hell bent on Christmas. Going broke just to give a white man credit for all the hard work that you do. Thinking you're worshiping God and worshiping Jesus, but unfortunately you're not doing either one of them. And you shouldn't be worshiping Jesus anyway. Like, God is within you. Jesus never said worship him. He always tell you to worship the Father by going inside of yourself. Uh, Continuing on Jeremiah 10, right? So check it out. So after I read the part in regards to those heathens becoming brutish and foolish, right? Check it out. But the Lord is the true God. He is the living God and the everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nation shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall you say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. Santa Claus is looked up to as a god, right? He's celebrated every year. He get all these praises, and he don't even exist. Anyway, um, So check it out. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. Ain't no breath in Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no breath in Santa Claus. But yet still, hell, ain't no breath in the Easter Bunny. But we all keep pushing this foolishness, these worldly ways foolishness. We're gonna move on, but hold on. One more thing. One more thing. Uh, and like I always say, even the Bible says so itself. Check it out. My tabernacle is spoiled, and all my cords are broken. My children are gone forth of me, and they are not. There is none to stretch forth my tent any more and set up my curtains. For the pastors are become brutish, and have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all their flocks shall be scattered. Now, let me let y'all know something right now. This is majority of your pastors that is in this country today. Um, a lot of you look at, the physical material they have and think, oh, these pastors are living good. Physically, they may have some nice material, but spiritually, they are not prospering. And in the long run, they're going to fall. Let's move on. So check it out. Uh, Second Thessalonians, chapter 2. I'm going to read verse 10 all the way through 12. And with all deceivableness and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. I'm gonna read that one more time. And all and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the truth of the love, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Now, that's a lot of us today. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I'm talking to you guys about right now, it's the truth. But guess what? There's going to be more people that's going to deny the truth than the ones that's going to accept it. And that's okay. Because even God himself said there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to receive the truth. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's right here in front of you. I didn't write this. You know what I'm saying? Even, the white man that took this from our ancestors, twisted up, added lies with truth. I just know how to dissect the truth from the lies. You see what I'm saying? But check it out. I'm going to read the 13th verse. But we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, the love for the Lord, because God hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. Boom, right there in your face, for the belief of the truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, is living lies, yo. A lot of us don't got the money that we try to make people think that we have. A lot of people are really insecure. Um, Most people are living a lie because they ain't true to themselves. Too worried about what everybody else gonna think about them. Too worried about what another person got. Always comparing themselves to other people. All that BS. Let's continue on. So check it out. Now, uh, to piggyback on that verse I just read in Thessalonians, Second Thessalonians, chapter 2, 10 through 13. This right here is actually the book of John, chapter 4. This is going to be for the, I'm going to read 23 to 24. And what you guys going to understand is this right here. Yet a time is coming, it has now come, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seek. God is Spirit, and his worshipers must worship in the Spirit and in truth. That don't say worship. That don't say anything about worshiping Jesus. That don't say anything about, in order to worship the Father, you have to worship the Son. No, it says here clearly, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is Spirit, and his worshipers must worship in the Spirit and in truth. Quote and unquote. And this is from Jesus. Okay? Jesus did not say worship him. He said worship the Father in the Spirit and in truth. Come on, man. Think about it. A lot of y'all really don't realize Jesus was not no punk. Jesus was a rebel. Every worldly way that they had at that point in time, Jesus not only shamed those ways, but he called that stuff out. Every time he called that stuff out, yo. So yeah, Jesus did not. Jesus was not turning the other cheek. Jesus was flipping tables. If you don't believe me, Google that. All right, so check it out. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm just showing y'all God don't like these worldly ways, yo. It's all in the Bible. Y'all thinking it's just at that point in time? No. During this particular time, as far as like Yahshua, we was in the age of Pisces. Now we just got the age of Pisces 11 years ago, but even though it's been 11 years ago, the energy, uh, still lingers a little bit. But we are getting further and further more into the age of Aquarius. That's why, shit, I'm talking to y'all right now. This is the age of information, and that's what we're gonna do: spread information, spread knowledge. Because knowledge is power. So check it out. More about these worldly ways and God not um, blocking these worldly ways, as well as our brother Yahshua. So check it out. This is Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15. I'm going to read a few verses, just so follow me. There's some Pharisees. Now, let me let y'all know something. Pharisees, you can put that to the equation of the government. All right? The Pharisees was the government at that point in time. Today, this is called the government. They don't call it Pharisees. It's called a government. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, there's some Pharisees and teachers of the law came to Jesus from Jerusalem and asked, why do your disciples break the tradition of the elders, or the tradition of man? How about that? They don't wash their hands before they eat. Jesus replied, and why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? Oh, bars. Like I told y'all, Jesus was no punk. Jesus wasn't turning no other cheeks. Jesus was a rebel. You see what I'm saying? The reason why I'm saying Jesus, because a lot of our people know him as Jesus. But if you ask me who he is, I'm going to tell you Yahshua, because that's who he is. He a black man with locks. Uh, but again, like I told y'all, Jesus was no punk. He wasn't I'm sorry, master boss. Let me go do what y'all do so I can be along with y'all in the world. No, not like that. Man, when they came at him, like, yo, why do you and your disciples break the tradition that our forefathers put up? They don't wash their hands before they eat. Now, don't take this literally. This is just speaking as far as just the ways that man put on earth, right? And Jesus is like, okay, That's cool what you got, but miss me with all that. Before you come questioning me about what we do, how come you break the command of God for the sake of your own tradition? Let's talk about that first. Before you question me about your own tradition, let me question you about why you break the command of God for your own tradition. Hmm? For God said, honor your father and mother, and anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. But you say that if anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father or mother is devoted to God, they are not to honor their father or mother with it. Thus, you notify the word of God for the sake of your tradition. You hypocrites, aka you motherfuckers. That is exactly what Yahshua was saying. You motherfuckers. Isaiah was right when he prophesies about you. These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are merely human rules. I'll read that one more time. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are merely human rules. Jesus called the crowd to him and said, listen and understand. What goes into someone's mouth do not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth is what defiles them. Now, let me explain this a little further. Let me just tell y'all something. They have twisted things to make y'all think that all food is clean. That is not true. If a damn food has parasites in it, I don't give a damn how much you pray. Them damn parasites are still going to be there. Your sound mind, your spiritual mind should tell you, you know what? That is unclean. Do not eat that. Maybe you should try it. Maybe you should get something else. Okay? Uh, but you guys are gonna understand that there's truth mixing lies right here. All right. So, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, real quickly, back to what Jesus was saying. Jesus called the crowd to him and said, listen and understand. What goes into someone's mouth does not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. Then the disciples came to him and asked, you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this? Meaning, do you know the government was offended when they heard this? He replied, every plant that my Father has not planted will be pulled up by the roots. Leave them. They are blind guides. If the blind lead the blind, both will fall into a pit. Peter said, explain the parable to us. Are you still so dull? Yahshua asked him. Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach, then out of the body? But the things that come out of a person's mouth come from the heart, and these defile them. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. These are what defile a person. But eating with unwashed hands does not defile them. Meaning, listen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a country boy. And there been plenty of times where I might be with my uncles or even be with my granddaddy. We either out in the field doing some work. When I say field, I'm talking about literally a field with farmers and stuff. Or we might be out in the yard working on some cars. It was very rare after we get done working on some cars or doing was just some type of work. If we're taking a break, I would say that if we're not done, but we just taking like a quick break, it was very rare that we washed our hands. If we're taking a break and we getting us a piece of chicken and bread and a Pepsi, that's exactly what we're doing real quick. We getting us a piece of chicken, some bread, and a Pepsi, and guess what? We about to eat real quick. We ain't stopping what we doing to wash our hands. No. We about to eat this piece of chicken real quick. We're gonna take about a quick 5-10 minutes, and we about to jump back on this because we got work to do. You see what I'm saying? That don't defile a person. But your heart, the evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. False testimony means you're lying on yourself. You see what I'm saying? Slander meaning you lying on somebody else. You putting bad stuff on their name. These are the things that defile a person. You know what I mean? So, again, following these worldly ways, sexual immortality. We got a lot of our sisters and brothers, which I understand. It's a condition. In essence, whether y'all want to believe it or not, it's a condition. Regardless, I love my brothers and sisters, but I do know at the end of the day, God, there's certain things that God, accept and does not accept. But guess what, though? At the end of the day, it ain't none of my business what another person do. As far as bedroom wise, as far as how they treat people and how they carry themselves, as long as they treat people with respect and carry themselves with respect, everything else that's between them and God. I'm just showing you what's right here in front of us and how uh, the world has really uh, twisted our people's minds thinking that certain activities is okay and it's not okay. I don't care what laws or what cracker says it's okay to do these things. Guess what? That doesn't change anything when it comes to the Most High. All right. And that's not only in Matthew itself. This is also in Mark 7 and 9, as you can see. Um, right here, Matthew 7, you can start at 5. So the Pharisees and the teachers of the law asked Jesus, "Why don't your disciples live according to the tradition of the elders instead of eating their food with defiled hands?" He replied, Isaiah was right when he prophesies about you hypocrites, as it is written, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain. Their teachers are merely human rules. You have let go of the commands of God and are holding on to human traditions." Um, and he continued, "You have a fine way of setting aside the commands of God in order to observe your own traditions. For Moses said, 'Honor your father and mother,' and anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. But you say that if anyone declares that what might have been used to help their father or mother is korban, that is devoted to God, then you no longer let them do anything for their father or mother. Thus, you nullify the word of God by your tradition that you have handed down. You do many things like that. Like they gave y'all Christmas. They gave y'all Valentine's Day. They gave y'all Easter. You see what I'm saying? All the stuff that don't mean anything. They gave this to us, and guess what? We done fell in love with the tradition. A lot of us are mostly in love with the traditions that the church follow and the trends that the church do instead of actually following the words of God. A lot of us have fallen in love with the worldly ways that's that God is being used to vouch for those ways, and it's all wrong. Uh, let's go to John 4, and again, like I like I'm trying to let y'all know, like, man, there's a lot of things that we got to do, y'all. I'm one of them too. I ain't no different from y'all. I got a lot of work I had to do as well too. But guess what? This is part of the work right here that I'm doing, spreading the word the way it need to be spreaded, the truth. Uh, so check it again. John 4. I'm gonna start at chapter 19. I'll start at 19. "Sir," the woman said, "I can see that you are a prophet. Our ancestors worship on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem." Just like today, they telling us that you know, God sits high and looks low. You know, we always told that we gotta pray on the outside of us, right? But check it. This is what Yeshua said. "Woman," Jesus replied, "believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem or in the church. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know, for salvation is from the Jews. Yet a time is coming, and has now come, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit, not worship the Father and A-N-D Spirit. It says the worshipers will follow. Well, it says the true worshipers will worship the Father in the Spirit. I in suckers. I in the Spirit, and in truth. For they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship in the spirit and in truth. He didn't say anything about worshiping him in order to worship the Father. He said you worship the Father through the Spirit and in truth. You see what I'm saying? So like check it out. Just like last Sunday, right? Last Sunday was the first Sunday of the month, right? Now, every first Sunday, what do we practice, ladies and gentlemen? We practice what we call communion, right? And what does that consist of? Now, what that consists of is drinking wine or grape juice, right? But what is the purpose for it? Symbolically, the wine or the juice is supposed to be blood. Symbolically, meaning you're pretending, you're getting your Barney on, right? You're using your imagination. It's supposed to be blood. And they take crackers or like some dried up bread or whatever, and that's supposed to be symbolic for flesh, right? Symbolic. You're supposed to pretend that you're taking a shot of blood, and you're supposed to pretend that you're eating a piece of flesh. All right? Now, every time we do this worldly stuff, I don't care how much y'all disagree with it, it is what it is. Anytime you are having communion on all these first Sundays, pretending that you are drinking a shot of blood and pretending that you are eating a piece of flesh, you are practicing cannibalism. Dude, look at this. Look at the definition right here. My people. Definition number 3 of cannibalism. Collins Dictionary. The ceremonial, keyword ceremonial. That's what we do every first Sunday. Ceremonially eating of flesh or parts of the human body for magical or religious purposes. That explains itself right there. As to acquire the power or skill of a person recently killed. Wasn't Jesus so-called crucified on the cross, and now all of a sudden y'all want to drink blood and eat his flesh, thinking that you're going to get his particular power or skill? No, that's cannibalism. That is not godly. I don't care what y'all think. That is not godly. It's not even close. Not even close. But yet still we have people that's scared of sage. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this video right here. But again, I hope you guys go over those scriptures yourself. Read those scriptures. Get that understanding. If you guys have any questions, definitely drop a comment on my video, and I'll definitely reply to it. Till next time, peace.